So, we're going to start the warm-up jokes. Forgot to record the first, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? So we're still just warming up here. We're going 8 for 8 of our swimmers. Oh. I'm going to change myself to the speaker. How do I do that? Okay, I hope I'm on speaker now. So, finishing off our 8 of reaching up towards the middle of the back and then around. Keeping those hands as far away from the floor as you can. Lovely. Let's go back into our leg sequence again. So shoulders and core. We're going hands on the hips, feet wide, toes turned forward. So like so. Soften the knees, push the bum back. Keep that big toe, little toe, heel on the floor. We're going for 5. As we hinge, we want to make sure chest stays up. Think about the chest going towards the wall in front. Nice. Let's make it a little harder. Let's put the hands on the back of the head. Soften the knees, send the butt back. Keep that chest up. Pushing through the floor. 5 in total. Pinching the elbows together. Excellent. Now, one more progression. Hands overhead, hands straight. As you bend, we're going to keep our arms reaching forward along the horizon. So hands and thumbs stay above shoulder height, above hip height. One more. Keeping that chest up. Fantastic. Kickstand squats. We're going for 10. So regular stance, just wider than the hips. Lift one heel, put it slightly behind you. Stretch the back of that leg. Working leg is that front leg. If you're not getting your bum lower than your knee, here, if you're only going to here, bring that foot in a little closer so you can get deeper. 10 in total. If you're going deep like this and your back is rounding, that is really gross. So don't go so deep. Think about lengthening the back of the leg. Once you've done your 10, swap sides. Bring the opposite leg behind. Lengthen that spine. 10 in total. More flexible you are, the wider you're probably needing to go with the legs so that you can keep the torso upright and work that front leg. If your bum isn't going past your knee, might be a little too wide. We want to bring our feet in closer to allow you to go deeper. Lovely. 10 in total. Excellent. Lovely. Shake out the legs. Side lunges. 10 in total. Feet start together. Use your mat so that you know you're in the right position. 10 in total. Toes stay facing forward. Trailing leg stays straight. We want to push through that foot. Once you've done your 10, swap sides, making sure those feet aren't stepping forward or back, that we're going straight across laterally. Once you've done your 10, same thing on the other side. Notice, does it feel the same on one side versus the other? Does one foot want to turn out more than the other? Pull a little foot. Once you've done your 10, we're into our core, we're into our bird dogs. I don't know why I can't see the chat. Hold on. Fede, I know you wrote something in the chat, but I can't get it up for some unknown reason.
No, sorry, I just had to deliver and I had to open the door. I'm back.
Oh yeah, no problem. We're coming on into that kneeling position. Hands together, knees together. Take that rounding out of the back. And we want to reach. Opposite arm, opposite foot. So that lower back is going to stay in the same position. Feel that little squeeze of the bum. Think about brushing the finger and the toe along the floor and then reach so you're getting stretched. 20 in total. Reach. Try not to get that lower back to move too much. So it's not about height like this. It's about staying low, reaching along the horizon. Excellent. Make it harder, so 10 each side. Bring the hands closer to the knees, bring the hands closer to each other. Reach that hand above the head. Woo. Moving that lower back as little as possible. Excellent. 20 reps in total. Hey Nicaise, good morning. Welcome, hope you're good. We're just finishing up the warm-up here. Once we're finished on them, lovely Fede, we're gonna come to lying down on our belly. Legs straight. Nose off the floor. Reaching up, reaching over, and reaching the back of the neck. Lift the nose off the floor for added intensity. See how far you can lift those hands away from the floor. 8 in total. See how far you can lift the elbows from the floor. So reaching up for that lower back. Coming around like a snow angel. Reaching behind the neck. And reversing. 8 in total. As I said, my least favorite exercise. This is so weird. The chat's just, the chat is just not working. Hold on. Remove pin. Technology, eh? Once you've done your 8, we are ready. We are ready for her first exercise. So, if anyone wants something in the chat, I'm probably not going to see it because my computer's being weird. But you can take yourself off mute or like sign language to me psychedelically, or what's the word, telepathically. We're going to go for our first exercise, which is our pistol progression, which we were working on last week. Does everybody remember which one they were? You can use your computer thumbs here. These guys. Options we had was, imagine this is a bench or a chair, is sitting down back onto the chair and then standing up. We had a couple of options where we're holding onto the wall, leg out in front, planting the foot and standing up. Some other options was foot behind the ankle. These would be slightly more advanced, yeah? Foot behind the ankle, squatting down and standing. And then the very last one will be holding onto your toe, squatting down and standing. I personally would recommend going onto the bench if you're very uncoordinated on the movement, you're not used to doing it at all, going on the bench and sitting down and standing up. Let's do that together to warm up the movement. You'll need a bed or a chair or a couch or a bench. Here's one I made earlier. Couple of options here. Option number 1, keep the heel on the floor, sit down, lean forward, stand up. Option number 2, lift off, sit down, stand up. Option number 3, lift off, sit down, keep it up. Let's go for 15 per side. Any variation. Use your body, rocking forward and back to give you that momentum to stand. Your leg may want to sit on the floor, that's okay, you're still working the working leg on this. You might be able to keep it up for the start and then tap it as you stand. The fun thing about coaching the exercises is that it's very hard to count the reps at the same time. So I'm going to say that that's 10 and we're going to go for 5 more. If you get to the end of this 5 and you're like, whoa, legs are burning, I'm really finding it hard to get up, like so, like that's feeling tougher, then this is the progression for you today. Once you've done your 15, let's swap legs. Same thing. Keep that leg elevated. Rock your body forward to stand. 15 reps in total. So, lower chair will make this harder. We want to make it tough now. We want to find 2 tough working sets today. So you could add a lower chair or your kettlebell or dumbbell in a front rack position. Nice. This is probably 102 reps there, 103. We're going for 15. Perfect. Lovely, Fede. Looks great. Great control. We're going to grab our kettlebell or dumbbell. Ideally, something a little bit challenging on this weight-wise. So, ladies, maybe 8+ kilos. If you don't have 8+ kilos, do not worry. You can use a kettlebell. You can use dumbbells. You can use whatever you have. If any fellas are doing this, they'd probably be thinking of taking the weight up closer to 12. Watch me to start. We did warm up this movement pattern. We went feet wide in our sumo stance. We're going to bend, reach along the floor, and stand. Watch me from the front, feet wide, in between the legs. We're going to bend, reach, stand. Bend, reach, stand. Let's do it together. Key to this now, when you bend, this is so important. This is awful. So lift that chest, squeeze those armpits tight to the body. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as you reach. We're going for 10 reps. Bend, reach, stand. 10 in total. Keep those toes pointed forward. Keep that chest up. Pushing through the floor to stand. Whatever weight you have, you might feel with that reach, it's really tough. You might not need loads of weight here. Using one dumbbell might look like this. Keep those armpits squeezed. One more after this. Keep that chest up. Keep that spine as neutral as possible. Excellent. Stunning. Warm up set 1 is done. Let me know in the chat, which I'm hoping I'll just see it come in. Was that challenging effort-wise? We're looking for like a 7 or 8 out of 10 in terms of effort. Yeah, just give me a thumbs up if it's above that. If it's less, I want you to grab, nice Fede. I want you to grab a slightly heavier weight. Nice, Gemma, perfect. 7 out of 10, super Julie, brilliant. So just make note in your own brain, or you can stick it in the chat, if that helps you remember, what weight you're using for these 2 sets, because we're gonna progress this type of movement next week with slightly heavier weights or harder progression. We're gonna do 2 sets now, and we want that pistol, the one where you're sitting on the bench, we want that to get to a working set. So we want it 7 or 8 out of 10, just like you had on the sumo deadlift. So options, higher reps, if you're doing from the bench, thinking 12 to 15 per side. Add a dumbbell here. Use load. This is our strength work. We do want to use resistance. Sometimes that resistance is enough if it's body weight. You guys have all been doing this for a while, so I'd say you probably can do with a little bit of load. The other options are holding onto a bench or a wall. We come down, we plant our foot, and we stand. Down, plant, stand. Foot behind the ankle, down, stand. If you're going for these variations, grabbing the foot, oh, down, oh my God, stand. If you're doing those last 3 variations, you probably don't need a lot of weight, and I want you to do 6 to 8 per side. You might do an amalgamation of exercises. So you might be able to do 1 or 2 like this, and then it starts to get really tough, and then you might transition to using the bench to assist you. So 12 to 15 per side on these guys, or 6 to 8 on any variation here. Hold on to the bench. Pro tip here, if you're coming down, watch my foot. If you're coming down and this starts to happen, this heel lifting, roll up some mats or take a very thin book. Put that heel on top of the mat, and it will assist you to get into that bottom position on the pistol. Once you've done your reps each side, let me know in chat what you did. Let me know which variation, if you added load. I think this is the first time I've taken my jumper off in a session in months, years. It may just be summer, I don't want to jinx it. And it was hailstones yesterday, so probably not, but we may be getting there. When you're done sticking in the chat, I'm watching here because it's not exactly coming up. I don't know why that is, very weird. Do a combination of the exercises to make it challenging for you. You could try 1 or 2 of those progressions where you're doing your single leg, holding onto the wall. Looks great, Fede. I do want you to challenge yourself on these. 10 foot off the ground. What is 10 foot? 10 foot off. Oh, I understand. Okay. I was like, 10 foot, I'm 6 foot. Well done, Gemma. Oh, well done. Excellent. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, lovely, guys. Finish them up. Brilliant, Gemma. Nice, Fede. They look good. I saw yours. I know where you're at. They look good. Great work. Let me know, Julie. Let me know in case. We're going into our second exercise. So because of the reach here and the deadlift, it's a really good exercise that you don't actually need major amounts of load. So it could be just 1 dumbbell. We could be talking like 5 kilos for a woman, 8 kilos. Fellas, probably a little bit more. Brilliant. Kind of got half that, Julie, but I think it saves the chat, so I'll have a look at it when we go back and we finish off. Feet are wide, toes forward. We're going to reach. We're going for 10. Really important on these. If I had something written on my t-shirt, I would ideally want you to be able to read it. So something written just up here. That's me keeping my chest up. Toes forward. Reach. Stand. 10 in total. When we're reaching, our back is not rounded. We are not lifting our shoulders up towards our ears. We are arching our upper back slightly. We are keeping the rib cage tucked into the spine as we stand and as we bend, so that those bum muscles are really having the opportunity to work. 10 in total. Perfect, Fede. Excellent. Once we're done, we'll take the break. So we're ideally taking about 60 seconds to 2 minutes here of a rest. If you know the rest is like 92 minutes, you know that the effort is going to be a little bit tougher. So if you're getting 30 seconds of break, your heart rate might be a little bit higher. So you're like, but when you do the exercises, they're a little bit easier in terms of the effort. So when you finish the reps, you're like, I probably could have done 5, 6, 7, 8 more reps. With these, because we're getting longer breaks in between, we want them to be at a level of intensity, 7, 8, maybe 9 or 10, where you're like, I could have only done about 2 more reps after that. Grab some coffee, grab some water. We've 1 more set of those exercises to do. Same vibe with the pistols. You're on your last set here, so this is the opportunity for you to challenge yourself with those progressions. Let's get going on those pistols for the last time. 12 to 15 to our bench or chair. Add your dumbbell. You want to make it a little bit tougher. To 15. Remember, it does not have to be all the same type of exercise. You could try 1 or 2 of these. Pop the foot down. These ones where you put your foot out in front and then down are definitely going to be more accessible for someone who's flexible. If you're a little bit stiffer in your joints, like you find stretching quite intense, that variation might be really, really tough. What you can do is add that elevated heel, put the book, roll up your mat, whatever it is, put it underneath, hold a weight, a book, bottle of water out in front, and it will allow you to get a little bit deeper into that position. Put your foot down to stand. Superb. Yes, Fede. Gains.com. Brilliant. Remember, if we're doing the harder progressions, our reps are going to go down, so we're thinking 6 to 8. If we're doing them when we sit in the bench, we're thinking 12 to 15. Definitely give those challenging exercises a go. Definitely, I find Not to be sexist or anything, but women tend to be more underestimating of what they are capable of. Not saying anything about the other gender the other way. I'm joking. Not always the case, but you probably are capable of more than you think. And you just give it a go. If you want any advice coaching wise on your technique, just stick on your video. Looks great. Once you're finished, you have your reps done each side. We're going for our deadlift. So remember this, very important, that back stays stiff. So imagine you've got a rod from your tailbone up to your neck, and that doesn't change. Feet wide, unlock the knees, bum pushes back, shoulders away from the ears. You're thinking belly button into the spine, ribs into the spine, reach along the horizon. 10 in total. I want to make sure that back doesn't round. I want to keep that chest up. Nice, Teddy. Looking good. 10 in total. Once you finish on that, we're going to grab a band. We're going to do some push-ups. We're going to do some band pull-aparts. We're going to do some bicep curls. Summer's coming. Nice, Fede. On that reach, go nice and slow. Even pause at end range. Notice on my shoulders, I'm not like this. Keeping that chest up. Keep reaching through the top of the arm. Lovely. Great. You're all fantastic. Grab some water, take the break, watch me. We are going to go for a couple of pulling exercises. Our first pulling exercise, using a band. So some people may have thicker bands, some people may have thinner bands. This red one, and the colors mean nothing because they all decided to make the colors different band strengths, which is really annoying. So if you have a red band, it might be really thick and might be a lot harder than mine. If that's the case, if it's a thick band and you're like, oh, I can't do it, take one loop, come really wide on the band, and we're going to do our band pull aparts from there. So in the band pull apart, we're going underhand grip, which basically means the hands turned up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are pulled down and back. And then we're going to stretch the band across our chest. We want to make sure we're not arching our back, so we're not going like this. We want to keep the core locked in, pull the shoulder blades back, strengthen those muscles underneath the shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades, underneath the armpits. Any band, if it's a very thin band, double loop it. Bring your hands closer together. Let's go for 15. Important that we have those hands turned up. If your band is really light and it's really easy, you're like, I could do this for about 50 reps. First of all, bring your hands a little bit closer. Second of all, slow it down on the way back. And third of all, try it in a bent over position. It's going to be a little bit harder. We're going for 15. So I have this little cat that visits me, right? But this is a different cat. Look. Can you see him? He's gone. Anyway. Animals are cute. Once you have your 15 done, we're going into a bicep curl. Watch me while you finish out your bands. Options, couple of options. Your band's long enough, you're going to stand on top. Palms towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders back. Keep the elbows in line with the body. Squeeze the elbow. We're going to go for 20 here. You could also do it with dumbbells. Very important you control on the way down. Slow and controlled. Feel that muscle lengthening. If your dumbbells are really light, your band is really light, what you can do, put the band, wrap it around a dumbbell, and it will create a little bit of added tension. 20 reps. When we're doing our bicep curl, we want to make sure we're not rounding through our spine. Back is straight, belly button into the rib cage. Shoulder and elbow stay in line. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. Tuck to the body. Feel the squeeze. Excellent. Nice, Fede. 20 reps in total. Watch me. While you're finishing off your band pull-aparts, a couple of options on the push-ups. Option number 1, knees on the floor, hands on a bench. When we set up, we want to corkscrew our elbows away from each other. So like this. And super flexible people, you might be able to get your hand to go really, really far out. Not super flexible people, doesn't matter. You don't need that amount of torque to create tension in the right muscles. Just think about screwing the hands into the whatever you have your hands on. Like Mr. Miyagi, wax on, no wax off, just wax on. In that position, elbows stay in tight to the body. Keep the knees on the floor, keep the elbows in, keep them corkscrewed away from each other. Option number 2, same thing. We're going 10 to 15 reps, harder on the floor. 10 to 15, corkscrew the elbows away from each other, keep the elbows in. Make it harder, find an elevated surface, go from your toes. 10 to 15 reps. I want you to find a level that you're able to do 10 to 15. So knees on the mat, hands on the bench, first entry. Knees on the floor, hands on the floor, second. Hands on a surface like a bench, feet on the floor, next one. Lower the box, lower the surface, harder the rep. Then obviously option number, 4 or 5. From your toes, elbows in. Finishing with that elbow on top of the wrist at the bottom. 10 to 15 reps. If you start on one progression and you can't get to 10 reps, go back up the chain. Find the easier progression. Nice, Fede. So lovely. Keep those elbows in, Fede. Find an easier progression and finish off the reps, making sure you hit 10. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. I would be interested if you guys can turn on your cameras to see what your push-ups look like, to make sure that your arm's in the right position and you're at the right progression for you. Now would be a great time. Everyone's like, oh God, I didn't mop the floors, or I'm still wearing my pajamas top. Me too, it's fine, this is my pajamas. Lovely, take the break. We have time for one more round. Slightly shorter rest on these. Until you get to like weighted bench pressing and pull-ups and things like that, and really heavy rows. And the level of fatigue that you can drive from banded upper body work and push-ups wouldn't be as much as the legs, so we don't require as much rest in this specific scenario because we're actually trying to overload your body. So 30 seconds is fine. We're going to go back in. You have your band pull-aparts. Remember, 8 out of 10. 15 reps. Let's try and get it to a level where you're like, oh my God. Oh. Last couple of reps are tough. So hands up towards ceiling. Stretch that band into the chest. When we come out to the top, we want to make sure we're going slow and that band stays taut. So we're not snapping it and losing tension. 15 in total. You're going to set those shoulder blades back, and we want to feel all the muscles underneath the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade, underneath the armpit, maybe a little bit in the chest as well. 15 in total. You're feeling it up into the neck, around the trap. The band is too heavy or the progression is too hard. Single loop of the band. We also need to shoulders back and down, belly button up into the rib cage, and you'll feel it more into that middle back. You may potentially be overextending like this. Not ideal. Tighten the core. Pull the belly button and rib cage together. Pull the shoulders back and together. Excellent. Once you've done your 15, we're into our bicep curls. We're going regular bicep curl where the wrist stays pointed in towards the shoulder. Elbows stay low. Back behind the body. Feel the burn. 20 reps here. If your weights are very, very heavy, you can only get 10. We want higher reps today. Drop it down to 1 dumbbell, or just the band, or a combination of the band and the dumbbell. Something tough. Something hard that allows you to get 20 reps. Slow on the way down, control. Woo! Nice, Fetty. Just keep an eye when you're doing bicep curls that the wrist isn't doing too much of this. You're stiff and you're pulling through that middle part of the upper arm in the front. Push-up progressions. 10 to 15 reps. Option 1, hands on the couch or the bench, on the knees, screw the elbows away, keep the elbows in. Knees and hands on the floor. I want you to pick a progression or a variation that allows you to do at least 10 reps and do the pushing and the lowering phase as well. You can also go from a countertop. My bench is quite low because this is where we are. You could use a countertop as high as your rib cage if you wanted. Make sure you're getting the reps. Make sure your technique is good. So when you push up, it's not so hard that you can't keep your core engaged. You're not like, ah. It's not happy. Crunch, tight, stiff, brace, push through. There is nothing here. Let's roll in. No progression here is too easy. Just find it that you can get the reps. Work on that technique. Last set in the push-ups. And then because we spend so much time faffing around talking about holidays at the start, we literally have to go straight into the aerobic piece. And he was like, what? I didn't sign up for this. So once you finish your push-ups, we're gonna start together. Same as last week. Every minute on the minute, I'm gonna start the exercises with you and we're gonna do them together. The first one is a single arms devil's press. It's an awful named exercise, really ominous. If you don't have a dumbbell, I want you to go for a regular burpee. Lower your chest to the floor. Clap overhead at the top. If you do have a dumbbell, we're going to take 1, so maybe 5 to 8 kilos for women, 12 to 16 for men. We're going to go into our burpee, and when we go overhead, or when we jump up, we're bringing that dumbbell overhead. Swapping hands each time. We're going to work for 30 to 40 seconds. Our second exercise is an air squat, and our third exercise is a sit-up. We're going to go for a twist. Anchor your feet under a couch if you need to, or put a dumbbell between it if you feel like it's really hard to get up. Option number 1, reach for the opposite knee, alternating sides. Option number 2, sit up, turn at the top. Sit up, turn at the top. Either one. So across the body, or sit fully and twist. Great. Grab your light dumbbell. Grab your air squat. Grab your sit-up. I'm going to put the clock on. We may run a little bit over 9:30 here, so if you have to leave on 9:30, just keep an eye on the clock. I can actually feel the excitement. You get to choose here whether you work for 30 seconds or 40 seconds. If you feel like you're going to die, don't work for 40 seconds. Work for 30. You get 30 seconds break and then you're on to the next one.
Bring it on.
Yeah. Summer's coming. Summer's here. Great. Okay. We are going in 20 seconds. So we're starting with that burpee or devil's press. And we're going into the air squat on the next minute. Are you ready? 10 seconds. We're going together. Starting on that devil's press or burpee. Let's go for it. Chest to the floor on the burpee. Clapping overhead. Count your reps. Use your dumbbell. Overhead. Swap hands on the way down. Take that break. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. 20-second rest. Our next exercise is our air squat. Let's see, can we work for that 30 to 40 seconds? 10 seconds, loads of time in between. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Counting your reps. Keeping the back of the legs long, keeping the ankles stiff, keeping the chest up. Keep sending the ball back. Drive up fast. 20 seconds gone. Stopping at 30 seconds. If you're still able to talk, you're doing good. Okay, 5 more seconds when we reach that 40. Lovely time. Our next exercise is our sit-up. Either variation. Hook your feet under the couch or put your dumbbell between your feet. We're going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Sit up and twist. Count your reps here so you have an idea what to aim for that next set. Push through the elbow. Reach for the knee. 4, twisting as you sit up. Big elbow to same knee. Lovely. We're coming up to that 30 seconds. See, can you get 10 more to reach that 40? 5, 4, 3, 2, time. 20 seconds. We're back in to our devil's press or burpee. This time, if you want to go 45, feel like you can handle it, you tried it last week, give it a go. 10 seconds. We're aiming for whatever reps you got in the last set. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Using that dumbbell. If you're doing your devil's press, swapping arm piece reps. Or just a regular burpee. Chest to the floor. Jump the hips up. 20 seconds gone. We're at that 30-second mark. Taking a break there, if you need to. 40 seconds done. And 45, well done. We're into our air squats now. Going in 8 seconds. Aiming for the same reps as last time. 3, 2, 1. Keep that chest up. Keep those ankles stiff. Torso upright. Embrace the burn. 20 seconds gone. Seconds done. So can you make that 40 or 45? 40 done. 45. Lovely. Sit-ups. 10 seconds. Hook your feet in. Or put that dumbbell between. 3, 2, and 1. Sitting up and twisting. Elbows to same knee. Keep those elbows away from each other. Or opposite elbow stays on the floor. Reach the outside of the opposite knee. Lower back hits the ground first as you go down. Rounding that tailbone into the spine. 30 seconds on. Last round. 10 seconds. Devil's press or burpees. Last set. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. See, can we match those reps from that first set? If you can push it for that slightly longer time frame for that last set, let's give it a go. If you're very able to capture breath, stick with a 30 or 40. Let's keep it up now. We're nearly there. I think less than 2 minutes of work. 40 seconds. One more rep. Time. Excellent. Hardest part done. Squats. We're looking for a similar rep range. 15 to 20 is doing pretty good. 3, 2, 1. Nice, counter reps. See what you can get. Keep it up. See, can we make that 45 seconds? Only sit-ups after this. Well done. 40 seconds done. 3, 2, 1. Fantastic sit-ups. Grab your dumbbell if you need it. Let's track those reps. Know that you want to get between 2 and 3 of what your first set was. 3, 2, 1. Let's go for it. Sit up and twist. Stay tall at the top. Sit up to the ceiling, not up to the knees. Any option here. Change variation if you need to, so it allows you to keep moving. See, can we work for that 45 seconds? Get that lower back, hit the ground first as you come down. Keep it up, we're nearly there. 10 seconds. Then you're done for the day. 5, 4, 3, 2, woohoo! Time! Yay! Well done, we are done for today. That was a sweaty one there at the end. Let me know in the chat, which I can kind of half see, or unmute yourself, how you got on that workout. Rep wise, were you hitting the same each round? Maybe kind of around what your reps were, what variations you're doing, what was the toughest? I'm going to say the devil's press. We're at 9:33 just in case you guys have to rush off. Well done.
I'm sorry, I had to go, but thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, Fede. Good. Have fun in. And is
I'm
it?
going 10 days, so I will be here next Tuesday.
Oh, I won't. I'll be in Venice.
Oh, well done. See you next week.
Yay! Oh, okay. Well, I have some of the, as this one will be recorded, I have some more recorded, so I'll send them on to you. There's a playlist. There's so many there from back in lockdown. They're really fun workouts. So I'll send them on to you. You can try like on the Tuesday or Thursday.
Well done. Enjoy Venice.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Fede. Well done, Julie. Well done, Nicaise. Take care, and Nicaise, hopefully see you on Thursday. Bye.
I'm traveling on Thursday, so I won't be there. But yeah, hopefully I will join next week on Tuesday.
Excellent. Okay, and I'll be away in Venice next week, but
Yeah.
no, woohoo. I will send on. You're in the group as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll link the playlist in again when I'm gone. So there's actually a ton of workouts in there from like way back when, it's like 2 years ago as well. So
Yeah.
loads of options.
Okay, cool. Have a nice trip in Venice and enjoy.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you when I'm back.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.